Germany has been Israel's foremost European arms supplier for decades. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, 99% of Israel's arms imports between 2019 and 2023 came from the US and Germany, with Germany responsible for about a third of Israel's military supply. Many view this support as backing for Israel's genocide in Gaza. Similarly, Germany has been a key supporter of Ukraine's military, committing 28 billion euros in aid against Russian forces, with plans for an additional 15 billion euros in special funding expected to pass before next year's election. However, this has faced domestic criticism amid budget deficits and limited funding for social and health programs.
Inequality had never been as bad as nowadays in Germany. Still, the old government has plans to introduce a new special fund for Ukraine before they dissolve the parliament.
Wagenknecht echoes the public opposition to the government policy. According to a new survey by the Kerber Foundation, 70% of Germans are against military support for Israel. At the same time, 87% think Germany should increase humanitarian aid for Gaza.
It's important, I think, to understand that the government collapsed not because of the question of the war itself, but in terms of how to continue the war, how to finance it. And there's very much consensus around the war effort, but the question of which parts of the state budget should be cut, this was what led to the government collapsing. But it's important to understand that the parties still stand behind the war.
Many observers are convinced that the financial and military aid for the imperialist aggression in West Asia and Eastern Europe will be a major issue for voters in the snap elections on February 23.
75%, if I'm not mistaken, do oppose weapon delivery towards Israel. But it's not at all reflected in any of the parties present in the Bundestag. On the contrary, and this is actually also I think the material base why they need to build this massive repression atmosphere to keep these voices down.
German politics has wider problems. On Thursday, the Berliner Zeitung published a new study about the population's dissatisfaction with their political system. A majority said they believed the democratic system in Germany is not working properly. In Eastern Germany, only 30% of the population thinks the political system works well. Political debates in the German Bundestag over the past few days almost entirely focused on increasing financial and military support for Ukraine. However, the public overwhelmingly rejects the government's support for the imperialist aggression in Eastern Europe and the Israeli genocide in Gaza. The imperialist aggressions in West Asia and Eastern Europe could be decisive in the coming elections. This could lead to ballot box defeats of the US and Israeli supporters in parliament. Dieter Reinisch reporting for Press TV from Berlin.